We have Alain Picard here from GS1. Your career has spanned several industries. What is a common trend you've seen among entrepreneurs in your career across the different sectors?
Well, I guess a common thread for me always comes back to the quality of service. Trends have changed over the years where you used to have a lot of face-to-face, a lot of calls. In my career, I've seen the pre-computer age, computer age, internet stage, which has changed a little bit of the view on how entrepreneurs deal with each other on a B2B or directly with a consumer or a customer. So I think that the customer service element for me would be a very grassroots area that has changed, but at the end of the day, quality service always has its priority.
That makes a lot of sense, for sure. What's something surprising you've learned about the food sector since being in your role with GS1?
Call it the extravagance or the wide range of folks within the supply chain. And I say that as a consumer, before I got involved with GS1 Canada, we understood the power of information, but only at a superficial level. And once I've joined GS1 Canada to get into the food industry, we have gotten to deal with all kinds of people, from farmers to scientists, to commercial kitchens, to recipes, to ingredients, to the multitude of facets that surround the food industry, much more than what I anticipated and what I thought strictly as a consumer.
What are you currently most passionate about in the food industry?
The variety and the international flavors that come into play. I think we've taken basic food premise, culture premise at a basis. I'm finding there's so many more channels open in terms of international culture and what relates to food as a result of the culture, thus making us much more aware and much more open-minded about different foods from across the world.
Great perspective. Great. What is the number one piece of advice you found yourself giving to clients more and more over your career?
Attention to detail. I think for me, the attention to detail, and this has been a positive approach for me, you're going to embark in something, put your best foot forward, have all the details, do the research, both from a product, R&D, financial, legal, all the areas that are going to have an impact for young entrepreneurs. Try and lay them out from the get-go to avoid some of the hurdles or maybe surprises you're going to get along the way. There are always surprises when you start a new business, but I think the prep work, the organizing, and the attention to detail, I think goes a long way.
Alain, do you have a career motto for yourself?
That's a very good question. It has essentially been the same, but has moved in different directions because I came from a technology field, went into business for myself in distributing and packaging, which is where I got involved a little bit in the food industry, as we used to sell paper specialized goods for bakery wholesalers across North America. So the model for me has been to adapt, but keep the same premise of the basics of business model into a personal model. And it has served me well right up until now with GS1 Canada. And I think it's the staying true to yourself, but always wanting to learn and develop and maybe not just rely on what was done in the past, but now embrace what's apparent in immediate and future.
All right. Last question. What is the number one piece of advice you would give a small business starting their account with GS1?
Have as much preparatory work in advance. Know your product and then use the GS1 tools and resources to be able to take that product and really understand what it takes to take that product to the next level. Be it an introduction to the market, being a scale-up opportunity to take that product and bring it into a different market or industry, and then take those standards. GS1 global standards are key in understanding what the retailers, what the marketplaces are going to be looking for to put the chances on your side for your product to be successful throughout the supply chain and in the marketplace.